Welcome back to the Dancing Oracle with me, Najia. If you're a first-time viewer, I just finished a tarot reading that was a celebrity request for asking about Keanu Reeves and Sandra Bullock and what's their love story and why didn't they get together? Will they ever get together? And then I had to stop the video. I was hoping I was just pausing it, but it's making me record part two to finish the reading because I had a client come. I had to teach her dance. That's why it's called the Dancing Oracle, because we will also have some movement at some point on this channel when I figure out the legal music situation for the type of dance I do. But in the meantime, I'm doing a lot of psychic predictions, celebrity readings by request, and collective readings that are for everybody. They're the kind of readings that are meant for you if you're drawn to the title. So, part two, Sandra and Keanu. I pulled, excuse me, I pulled these two cards for Sandra. I already did the tarot reading, so now we're into the Oracle insight from the Archetypes guidebook by Kim Krans. And I pulled this card for Keanu and this card for the both of them. And the way the Oracle cards work is it's a much different, completely different system than tarot. Tarot cards have set meanings in set positions, whether they're upright or reversed. You have to have years of study to understand them. An oracle is designed by the artist and the author, and you can intuitively, look at someone's image and kind of just get a feel. This one is called the seed. This is the one that represents Sandra in the early phases of meeting Keanu and working with him. And there's this big circle of lines just surrounding the seed, like, oh, there's so much potential, right? Do we all feel that? There's so much potential for love, for blossoming. But we're going to read what the author says, the meaning intended for her artwork. Both count, okay? So here we are, part two of Sandra and Keanu. The seed, the beginning, the origin, the pearl. Beginnings come in many forms. They are not always a beautiful seed placed intentionally in nourishing soil. Origin stories, like any birth story, are complex, surprising, multi-layered, and usually reveal a central image or detail that represents the fully formed being. Take that in. Simply stated, the end is present in the beginning, or the entire oak tree resides within the acorn. Whether you follow this imaginal theory or not, know that when this card appears, there is potent, generative energy all around. Oh, yeah, we felt the chemistry. It stirs your very insides and usually results in an antsy, impatient feeling. Pay particular attention to what agitates you, as is a sure sign of growth to come. You are bumping up against a growth edge. It is from the grit that the pearl eventually comes to be. There's a couple side notes, literally side notes, that I'll read for Sandra's. One of the alchemist's favorite images was the pearl. The irritant over time becomes the treasure. And the true seed is elusive. If we follow any story toward its origin, it spirals farther and farther back in time this way. We are always the seed and always the fruit it bears. Very interesting. So we could all feel that seed, that potential, because we saw that in their subconscious thoughts. We saw the seed. Let me just pull out the card that showed up in their subconscious thought. Oh yeah, subconscious thoughts was the love, the new beginning love card. The seed of love. They literally got that. So this makes sense. And I meant to pull one card for her, but these were stuck together, and there was the stone underneath. Okay. Let me get my glasses because, I'm going to just look at this intuitively first. So we have sacred geometry shapes. We have the triangle, which is a really strong form. I don't know if you can tell, but if you can't collapse this structure because it's hard to, if you push it from the top, these sides want to go in and keep it stable. Whereas, let's say this was just a square, you could collapse it. The square is a great foundation, but the triangle is stronger. And that's why you would often put like another brace. If you had a square structure, you would put a beam here and a beam here and a beam here, or circle, the circle's working, and that makes it last longer. And then we have the circle, which is all unity. Okay, so as I look at this, I see the stones. It's like more than one stone, right? There's like that. It's hard to tell. Let me show you. And intuitively, I sense, something buried through many structures, through many eras of time. There's a dark separation here. So I'm picking up past lives. I'm picking up something solid. So they may have had some past lives, which is, we often travel in soul families anyway, and they're probably part of each other's soul family. So I want to read, excuse me, that time of year, I want to read what the author says about this card as well. So LXVII, what's that, 82, if I'm counting right, or 80, yeah. The stone, the eternal, the anchor, the rock. As an archetypal object, the stone holds psychic and literal weight. Its energy is one of permanence, concreteness, and reliability. The stone's ability to transform is nearly imperceptible to us as it changes ever so slowly over countless human lifespans. A single stone may see thousands of generations come and go. Therefore, it contains an ancient and eternal presence. The stone is where I lost my spot. Is best used to anchor our wild side. So no matter how far we roam, we can always find our way back. The stone tethers us to earth, helping us to ground and connect us to stillness, quiet, and peace. When this card appears, it is likely the stone is a remedy for what ails us, humble and easily unnoticed. The power of the stone balances the frenzy of the world. Side notes, literally on the side. In Jewish mourning tradition, stones are left at graves rather than flowers. Sit with this vision for a moment and see what unfolds. Ah, I'm picking up many lifetimes rather than going for the flower, the beauty, like that flowering love, and then knowing that they are connected at soul, they're friends. It's solid, sticking with that solid found. The other side note is build a cairn in nature. Find inspiration in any Goldsworthy stone egg forms. So a cairn is, if you've ever gone hiking, you'll see big stone, medium stone, littler stones stacked one on top of the other. They often do it in the creek itself where all the stones are, but sometimes you'll see them inside the forest. And Cairns, that's how you spell that. So I'm picking up that, there was this seed with so much potential. It doesn't mean it wouldn't happen, but it didn't. It's the seed that was originally there would have been with family. I could see them both being good parents. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I could definitely see Sandra. I imagine Keanu. He's such a sweetie. I've seen him on some videos with kids. He's patient. He's sweet. So I could see that that potential would have been there. But in the tarot reading, there was this coolness. They kept that cool exterior. There was a lot of professionalism, working. They were both early in their careers, and eventually they got involved with other people, and the timing never worked out. Over the years, either someone's paired up with someone, and then, it's never worked out where they're both single. And then I see this eternalness, this solid foundation about the stone, that, their relationship is rock solid over the eons of time. And that's how I see from Sandra's cards, perhaps her point of view. And there was something else I wanted to tell you I just picked up on. What was it? Oh, it's evading me. I'm so sorry about that. I sometimes have clairaudience and it comes in, and then I get pulled into this world because I heard cars going down my road, and then it brought me out of that partial state because I'm trying to navigate being in two dimensions at once right now, tuning in while I'm present with you. There would have been, at the early days, it could have happened, but there would have needed to have been um, more of Keanu coming out of his shell. So the other thing I wanted to tell you was about stones, crystals. Like, what do I have here? Hold on. Did you know these are alive? They're not inanimate objects. They are animate objects, these stones. If you look up crystals, I mean, it takes millions of years, but one crystal will grow and change into another type of crystal over the years. Just look it up. These are part of the mineral kingdom. We have the animal kingdom, the mineral kingdom, the plant kingdom. They're all alive. Everything's alive. Everything is energy. Everything is alive. So even a stone is alive, but we can't see it moving because they outlive us. And there is something about being at peace with that eternal state of things that take a long time to develop. So that's what I'm getting. I'm getting there's something solid that that on her end decided I want friendship, but maybe I could have been taken over the edge into romance. Now let's see what the oracle of the prayer, excuse me, okay, was for Keanu. And this is from his perspective, okay? So, is that 65? Number 65. Okay. It says the prayer, worship, reverence, homage. What is prayer? When are we in a state of prayer and when are we not? To whom or what do we pray? Archetypally, the practice of prayer has been with us since the dawn of time as a remedy for the omnipresent self-centered thinking that spins us toward illusion. That's interesting. Prayer leads us beyond our ego as we move from our little story to the big one. Some say we are in a state of prayer anytime we are not the center of our own thoughts. Others say prayer is a natural result of gratitude. Perhaps it is simply surrender or service. Whatever prayer is for you, this card reminds us of its importance. Get quiet, low, humble, and soft. Bow and touch the ground as your heart lifts to the sky. Though it may be uncomfortable, it is time. Nothing else will do. Side notes, experiment with the act of bowing down. Nearly all spiritual traditions were a practice of prostration. Every song, kiss, breath, word can become a prayer. It is a feeling, not an action. Consider the ancient mantra, Om Nama Guru Dev Namo. I bow to the creative consciousness within. I bow to the teacher within. So it's really interesting that this card came out for Keanu. When I saw that 30th anniversary show on YouTube for Speed, there was a panel. with the producer, director, and Keanu and Sandra. Um, they were talking about it was unusual. They had asked a lot of other celebrities to play that part that were well known and more rugged and beefed up, you know, um, muscular. At the time, Keanu was extremely skinny, and he had just played in a movie, I think it was called Little. Oh, do you see that orb? What was that about? If you saw the orb in the comments, let me know. Anyway, he had just played in the movie. I think he played Siddhartha in Little Buddha, and he was extremely skinny. He had really long hair, I think like me, and he had to play this rugged cop. And they had gone through a lot of other actors. I think Brad Pitt, Will Smith. I forget who else. There was a number of them. You'd have to pull it up on YouTube. And the director was, he was like, he liked Keanu. And then Keanu gained a lot of weight, and he cut his hair really short, which surprised them. But he was playing the part of Buddha or Siddhartha, right? I never saw the movie. I saw some clips from it. I'm somewhat familiar with somewhat. I never read the book Siddhartha, but I'm somewhat familiar. I've been on pilgrimages, but he would have been very involved in prayer, state of mind. Being an actor, he would have to go into that state to play that part. So it's really, really interesting that this card came out for him. Wow. And I think about the seed one. I'm thinking Sandra might have thought, "Ooh, what would it be like to have a baby with him?" Something like that. I kind of get that impression, but it never manifested. Instead, it stayed the stone. Now, the card for both of them is the temple. Boy, this turned out to be a long reading. At least it's two videos. By accident, it's two videos because I wanted to do the oracles as well. My client came a little early-ish. So the temple is number 39. It's a beautiful card. Also prayerful. Let me see what's down here. As I search for the card, I'll let you look at something nice. So what did I say? 39? All right. Got the temple. The temple, the sanctuary, the shrine, the altar. When we think of the temple, we often envision an architectural structure in a far off land. We are quick to distance ourselves from the sacred, assuming we must expend much effort in order to arrive there. Yet, the temple is a universal and omnipresent energy, accessible in the highest and the lowest, richest and poorest of places. Visiting the temple might be as simple as stepping into the dappled light of the forest, slowly and sensuously kissing a lover, or closing your eyes to travel inward. This card is a call to re-examine what you pay homage to and what you reject. What do you spend your time worshiping? Your phone, money, material goods? What barriers do you draw between yourself and the sacred? Perhaps, I just got a feeling, I'll tell you in a moment. Perhaps there is a room on your altar for something new, something surprising. Offer it to the heavens. So the ancient yogis saw the body itself as the temple. This is a side note. Every function and feature of it as an expression of divinity. Build a shrine with found materials. Don't spend any money or any time. Though indeed the temple travels with you. This card is interwoven, the pilgrim archetype. If you've been longing for a spiritual journey, book your ticket. So this is a little advice. That would be more to my viewers, the Keanu Sandra fans. Because as I've said before, we're watching this for entertainment purposes only and just understanding intuition and connection to spirit and cards. And what happens is when you're a fan of someone, you're naturally drawn to this video but sometimes these messages are literally for you. They're describing what was going on at the time when they were both single but didn't get together. So I got this feeling when I tuned into the energy between them regarding this card that there was so much reverence and so much respect between them. And that young love, they would have been late 20s, 30. He might have been 30. She might have been late 20s. I'm not sure how old she is. But I know he's 60, and that was 30 years ago. So he was 30 when the movie came out, I believe. Not sure when it was filmed, but maybe filmed in his late 20s. But that's pretty young. And you've got all kinds of hormones flying around. And I got the impression that they've known each other over many lifetimes. And there was some recognition of spirit. And that they felt the reverence. And I guess if either one had crossed over the line of work, they would have gone for it. But I really feel that there was a lot of knowing that their relationship that their friendship is special, that their working relationship was special, the friendship was special. And maybe, when they were young, they don't want to bring in all of that drama, all that. When you're young, you don't have the wisdom that you do when you're older. So you never know. You never know what the future holds. But I do see a major connection, and yeah, they were both thinking of it in the cards. It's showing it in the tarot reading. And they were more focused on being professional, as stated in the tarot reading in part 1. And if this is a popular topic for you and you want more, then you could put the request in the celebrity request video for October, because it's still October 23rd right now. And if you don't see this video until November, I will be making a celebrity request for November video. Please put your comments there. Those are the only celebrity requests up for consideration because they're all in one space. I get thousands of comments and I'm so grateful for them, but I can't keep track as I'm reading on my phone. I can't keep track of all these requests. So I made a special spot, a special video each month where everyone can put them in, and I go through and I read you out loud. I read out loud that I'm honoring your video, and I think it's working. I think it's working, and that's how I'll continue to do it. If you like this video, please, there's many ways to support the channel. There's free ways as an FREE. One is hit the like button. It helps get my videos out to more people. Sharing is a great way. Commenting, I believe, helps. I think that helps. And then, excuse me, if you want to help me, excuse me, support my time, there's a SuperThanks option now available. Take care. I'm going to have a coffee kid. I got to go.